and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. Coming up in today's newscast, Israel's government coalition is in crisis. An Israeli company has a solution to world hunger, and if you're looking for a feast for your eyes, it's time to head to Jerusalem. I'm Natasha Kirchuk here with the latest news in Israel. Israel's government coalition has been in crisis for the past week, and now Israeli protesters are concerned it will have a negative impact on future peace talks with the Palestinians. There are conflicting reports today about whether or not a solution is close in the current coalition crisis. Leading Likud Knesset member Tzachi Hanegbi says that the government is on the brink of collapse due to a demand by the ultra-nationalist Jewish Home Party, which asks that the Prime Minister overhaul the security cabinet and improve intelligence sharing among ministers. The demand has been on the table for the past week, and Minister Naftali Bennett is threatening that the Jewish Home Party will vote against the appointment of Avigdor Lieberman as defense minister and sink the coalition deal unless an agreement is reached. On Friday, another crack appeared in the coalition with the resignation of Environment Minister Avi Gabay from the Kulanu party. Gabay said he was resigning in protest of the coalition deal with Lieberman. Meanwhile, thousands of Israelis are protesting against the appointment of Lieberman as defense minister, all in fear that peace talks with the Palestinians will be further delayed. Finance Minister Moshe Kahlon says that he will support Netanyahu's new government coalition, and that the French peace initiative is not the only path to peace. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has been showing his support for the recently proposed French peace initiative, and now he's saying that it must be based on the two-state solution with the 1967 borders intact. He's also insisting that Palestinian refugees be included under a 1948 UN Right of Return resolution. The Arab League has also come together to discuss the French peace initiative, and their chief Nabil Al-Arabi says that a two-state solution can be achieved under two conditions: an executive mechanism and a specific time frame. In other words, the Arab League believes the international arena needs to be involved in peace talks. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has made it clear that Israel is only open to pursuing peace through direct negotiations with the Palestinians, and he says that the appointment of Avigdor Lieberman as defense minister will not impede the process. An Israeli company is working to help cure world hunger by farming edible insects. Yes, you heard it right. It turns out edible insects are high in protein and affordable to cultivate, meaning they can be used as a nutritious food source. Now, the Israeli startup Steak Tzartzar is on a mission to use the insects to stop food shortages worldwide. Steak Tzartzar has developed strains of edible mealworms and grasshoppers that are grown in controlled environments, without chemicals and free of pesticides. The Israeli startup conducts high-scale farming of the insects for human consumption.
I believe that insects in general, and grasshoppers in particular, are that solution. They provide superior nutrient content, about 70% whole protein. They are much more sustainable. And if you can develop mass rearing of grasshoppers, they can be affordable.
The Israeli company is opening up farms and warehouses in East Africa, where insects including grasshoppers multiply exponentially. Grasshoppers are only in season for 6 weeks a year, but they can grow from a few thousand to over 1 million within months. The company is planning to penetrate the North American market, but must face getting past the yuck factor first. For most Westerners, the notion of eating insects is not an appealing one, but in countries where hunger is prevalent, edible insects can be a major solution. Data shows that 1 in 9 people around the world do not have enough to eat, and nearly half of all global deaths in children under 5 can be attributed to malnutrition. This Israeli solution to world hunger is based on the premise that insects can prove to be a cost-efficient and protein-filled diet for the future. When it comes to LGBT rights, there are still major barriers to overcome in the Middle East. Israel happens to be a liberal lighthouse in promoting sexual identity freedom, and this week the country held its first transgender beauty pageant. The contest brought together transgender contestants from the Holy Land's different ethnic backgrounds, in what some may claim was an unconventional show of tolerance and coexistence. A Muslim contestant said that she hoped the contest would send a message throughout the Middle East.
فيش عندي هدف اني اربح، هدفي هو تمرير رسالة للمجتمع العربي ككل او كان داخلي او خارجي، انه يتقبلوا الغير، يتقبلوا الاخر. الشرطة الاسرائيلية اجت وطلعتني من البيت كل هاي الصعوبات واللي مرقت فيه ضلتني رايحة ولا حلمي عشان أحقق الحلم اللي أنا وصلت له هلا.
The organizers described the contest as an ethnic mosaic with contestants from around the country, including a Jewish confectioner from an Orthodox family, a Muslim belly dancer from Tel Aviv, and a Christian ballerina from Nazareth. Unlike anywhere else in the Middle East, Israel has liberal laws on sexual identity, and there are even openly gay and transgender troops in the Israeli military. Yet people from the LGBT community often face hostility from religious conservatives throughout the country.
Israeli people like transgender, but they don't have enough information about transgender. Among us are judges, there are doctors, there are lawyers, there are people who are working in high-tech position, and as well people who would like to go to the Israeli parliament and to present us in our parliament.
A Christian Arab was crowned the Israeli transgender beauty queen, and she's very proud to be representing the country.
והנה אני פה ואני מקווה באמת שלייצג את ישראל בצורה הכי גבוהה שיש, כי באמת מגיע למדינה שלנו להיות גבוהה. המדינה שלנו מדינה של שלום, לא כמו שרואים בטלוויזיה. המדינה שלנו נתנה לי כערבייה נוצרייה מנצרת להפסיק את המלחמה שהייתה בין הנשמה שלי לגוף שלי. אז אם לי עשתה שלום, המדינה שלנו רק מדינת שלום.
Israeli Queen Talin Abu Hana will represent Israel at the Miss Trans Star International pageant in Barcelona in September. You may not know it, but Israel has created many of the products and services that make the world go round. So if you want to join the BDS movement and boycott Israel, you'll have to say goodbye to a lot of essentials, from your mobile phone to your ebook to your electric car. One Israeli company is on a mission to show just how much Israeli products impact your life. And CEO Omri Akunis and creative manager Yossi Dre from Israel Box are here to tell us more. Thanks so much for coming in, guys.
Hey.
So what does Israel Box do? Tell us about this company.
You want to start?
No.
I'll start, okay. So Israel Box is a company that puts together a lot of products of small Israeli companies into a box called the iBox, which is
The iBox.
The iBox. Which is a subscribed box. You won't know what's inside, but you do know that it will stimulate all your five senses. Israel will stimulate your five senses. And we're basically taking companies ahead, taking their products ahead, companies that don't have the opportunity to get outside of Israel, and using that stuff to go against the BDS.
So you can be sitting at home in your house and have an iBox come to you once a month or once a week with all these cool
once
products.
Every 2 months.
Okay, once every 2 months. But eventually once every month. And eventually once every...
Hopefully.
Exactly, once you have enough products. So this is really interesting. How did you guys come up with this idea?
So actually my wife and I, we subscribed to a box which has presents for our dog. And I thought about the idea how to mix between the supporting Israel and supporting the Israeli economy to getting products from Israel. And as a surprise, you'll get the iBox, the Israel box.
This is actually a really, really cool idea, and I'm going to have to share this with all my friends in the U.S. as well, because I know that we spoke about this too. You know, you can get makeup boxes sent to your house, you can get dog boxes, and now you can get Israel boxes. So how do you guys decide on what products to put inside the iBox?
Well, like I said, each box will simulate your five senses. So you could take a guess what kind of stuff will be inside. It could be stuff that have to do with music. It could be different kind of wines, chocolate, olive oil, different kind of soaps.
So speaking of that, we see the iBox in front of us right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So can we open it and see what's inside?
You can open it. This is a pilot box. The stuff you'll see here inside is not the stuff that's going to be in the first box, but
Okay.
you can get an idea of where the stuff are going.
So
Yeah,
this
so
is
Here,
pull the
let's
products
say a
out so we can
t-shirt.
also-
You can see here a t-shirt. You can see here wine. You can see here body cream, body lotion.
yeah,
And
Israeli
this is all
music
stuff that's produced and made
A
here in
calendar.
in
Israel.
Israel. All the products are made in Israel.
That is an amazing calendar.
Yeah, it is. And the
I'll be taking that.
It's
chocolate.
yours.
There you go. So, where do you find these products? Obviously, they come from Israel, but how do you get your hands on them?
We're just all over Israel. We're going to manufacturers and to the businesses, small businesses, and we're telling them about the idea of the iBox, and we want them to be a part of it. And whoever wants to be a part of the Israel box will be in it.
Of course. So, finally, the main question here is, who are these boxes geared towards? Who are your main clients?
So our main clients are, of course, pro-Israelis today. Hopefully we'll get to much more circles of people. But we realize that so many pro-Israelis around the world, especially in the US, are looking to support the economy of Israel, but just don't know how. They don't have any tool. They don't know where to go into. They're like, I want to support Israel. And we're like, okay, let's give them that tool. They can just subscribe for a box. They don't have to know what's inside. The quality of the products are going to be top quality. The value of each box is going to be almost twice the amount of what they're paying. So it's like a win-win situation for everyone.
I just want to add something that nowadays we can be active in supporting Israel just like on social media, but we want them to be proactive, buy the products, fight the BDS, and help the Israeli economy.
Yeah, and this is a key to doing that. So
Through Kickstarter.
Right, through a Kickstarter. So that's what I want to ask you next. If you want to get your hands on one of these boxes, you want to order them or send them to friends, how can you do that?
Okay, so we launched our
Kickstarter.
our Kickstarter campaign 3 days ago. There's only like 20 days left, 23 days left. Each box is $55 before shipping. And you could also subscribe for a bi-month, once every half a year, or get a full year subscription, which gives you $6 a year.
So this is a great gift, and
And
if you
this is
want
the
to,
best
It could be a gift. Yeah, it's the best deal.
if you want to send it to, I don't know, your grandmother, for example,
No
you
problem.
can actually subscribe
You
for
can
her
subscribe and just
specifically.
leave us an information who do you want to send the box to when the Kickstarter
Do
is
you get
over.
to see a list of the products
Yeah.
also that are?
No, that's a
That's
surprise.
that's the whole thing about the surprise box. But we could show there's some examples, like we're showing here some examples, so you could see on the Kickstarter also examples of
You
products.
know that you're going to get the 5 sentences of Israel, but you don't know what exactly is the
Exactly.
5 sentences of Israel.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I love surprises. I think everybody loves surprises. This is a very cool product
Thank you.
that you guys have created, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
you so much.
Have you ever been to the Eiffel Tower in France? Well, this week you can see it right here in Israel. The replica of the Paris Tower is part of this year's Light Festival in the Old City of Jerusalem. The 8th annual festival was launched on the weekend and will continue until June 11th. The festival includes light arts from Israel and abroad, as well as displays of water and music. As if Jerusalem's old city isn't beautiful enough, the Light Festival features a large selection of artistic events from around the world to brighten up the city. As different light arts are projected on Jerusalem's walls, theater, dance, and music are blended to create a beautiful show. The festival is organized by the Jerusalem Development Authority, the Ministry of Jerusalem Affairs, and the Municipality of Jerusalem, and it attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. Visitors can choose to participate in one of 4 art tracks every year, which are marked by different colored lights, and the special artistic paths take them on journeys throughout the city from one art installation to the next. If you want a feast for your eyes, make sure to head to Jerusalem before the festival ends on June 11th. Modern-day Israel was largely formed by Jewish immigrants who moved to the small country from all over the world. But it wasn't only Jews who made the Holy Land their home. A group of German Templars also came to Israel and made Tel Aviv their home base. ILTV's Denise Wood hit the streets to check out how the Templar colony turned into one of Tel Aviv's most popular shopping centers.
We're here today in the main square of Tel Aviv's Sarona Market, which historically was a German Templar colony in the heart of Israel. We're here to take a look at how the city has transformed these historic buildings into a modern-day work of art.
Today, Sarona Market is one of the busiest urban centers in Tel Aviv, but that wasn't always the case. The market and surrounding area were opened only a year ago, and before that, it was just an abandoned property. The land that the market sits on actually goes way back in Israel's history, and was originally a German Templar colony. The village was considered one of the first modern colonies in Ottoman Palestine, and it was a major agricultural center. The German settlers originally purchased the land in 1871, and the colony flourished for many years. By 1925, Sarona had turned into a trade-focused settlement, which is reflected today in the many stores that make up the Sarona complex. Unfortunately, the Sarona colony was unable to escape the effects of war, and it was turned into a British military base during the Mandate period in 1917. Although the colony eventually returned to its normal function, it struggled again when the Nazi Party took over Germany and mandated that all of its colonies teach Nazi programs and align themselves with the party. The Templars were evacuated from the colony and the British occupied it again, until it was handed over to the Jews when the mandate ended. The Jewish forces turned it into a military headquarters, and the IDF still is stationed near the market today. The long and varied history of the colony is shown today in the market, especially through the many buildings that have been preserved and restored. It took more than a decade to renovate and build the new Sarona Market, which was styled to look like the original Templar colony. Buildings like the colony's community center and new school were marked for preservation, and the city has worked to incorporate the original structures with the modern-day market. The market today is a mix between old and new, and many of the buildings have exposed walls or bricks that date back to the Templar time, or are at least built to look like it would have been during the time period. Besides the outside buildings, Sarona also features a large market that's filled with vendors and specialty foods. So if you're looking for a taste of Tel Aviv history and also a bite to eat, Sarona is the best place to get it all. This is Denise Wood for ILTV.
It's time for our Hebrew word of the day. We all need some light in our life, so today's word is ol, which means light in Hebrew. Ol is actually a very popular name in Israel since many parents consider their children to be the sources of light, giving them purpose. Ol isn't the only name that comes from the word light. Try Ori, Ora, Orit, Orli, the list goes on. Let's just say that Israeli families really view their children as a light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing like a child's smile to brighten up your day. Now, if you're celebrating a big event, don't be surprised if an Israeli wishes you Ora v'simcha, or light and happiness. Israelis have a special appreciation for the sun and the light it brings you, since after all, the Holy Land is filled with warm, sunny light for most of the year. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather forecast. It's the beginning of a new week. Monday is expected to be sunny with a high of 78 degrees. It should get even hotter by Tuesday with a high of 82 and sunny skies. All right, everybody, that's it for today's news. Today's exchange rate is 3.85 shekels to the American dollar. Remember to sign up for our daily newsletter at iltv.tv, and don't forget to check out our evening update every night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tonight.